Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Today's show is presented by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety and security provider. Stay protected online with Aura. Go to aura.com/chatsports. Free 14-day free trial. We'll tell you more about that later on in the show. All right, so June 1st has come and gone, which means some moves could be happening because a lot of contracts for a lot of players around the NFL are more tradable now. So could Kansas City make a move or two? We know Brett Veach has been, an aggressive GM in the past. Obviously, it traded away Tyreek Hill earlier this off-season. Could look to add a piece or two before training camp. Could see some of these players get cut as well. We always hear the term post-June 1 cut candidates and so forth, but the reality is some of those players could have been designated as post-June 1st cuts before June 1st actually got here. So maybe trades are actually more likely between now and training camp. I think it's possible you'll see a few transactions this week as teams continue to manipulate their rosters, their salary caps, and get themselves in a good position as you get into mandatory minicamps, training camp, and of course on into the season. And honestly, I was just thinking about we're in the month of June. Football's almost here, man. 3 months from now, we'll be playing real football. All right, I'll have 5 players that the Chiefs could target via trade. Name a player that you think the Chiefs should go out and trade for. Let us know down in the comment section, whether it's a Robert Quinn, maybe you want a specific receiver. We'll take a look at 5 guys coming up in a moment, but let me know who you want the Chiefs to trade for. All right, first guy up is a player who's been linked to a lot of trades as of late. That is Daron Payne because he kind of sent Washington, the Commanders, a little bit of a message recently as he left the practice field as he wants a new contract entering the last year of his rookie deal. Good year last year, 61 tackles, 4.5 sacks for the interior defensive lineman who's pretty good. He's a good run stopper, decent enough pass rusher as well as a guy who's not really a 3-tech, so I think he would actually fit pretty nicely next to Chris Jones. Now, for Washington, the possibility of trading Payne, I think, is pretty intriguing because if they trade him, they now have a 0 dead cap hit. If he gets traded, doesn't cost them a dime. If they cut him, it's a lot of dead money. So they're not going to cut him. It's a matter of extending him, letting this year play out, or trading him. And if he's pretty upset and clearly wants out, then trading him could make sense. Maybe sending a day 2 pick to Washington could make sense for the Chiefs. Now, obviously, we've talked a lot about that edge position. You're pretty thin there, but you can use another defensive tackle as well. Daron Payne would certainly be an upgrade over Derek Nottie next to Chris Jones, and then you'd have a nice little rotation with obviously Payne and Jones as your starters. Derek Nottie, Tershawn Wharton, Kalen Saunders is some of your depth pieces as well. I actually like that quite a bit. I think Daron Payne would be a great fit next to Chris Jones, who's more of that pure pass rusher who stops the run okay, but Payne can do a little bit of both, more of a, not a true nose tackle, but at 320 pounds, he's a little bit beefier than Chris Jones, can play more of that 1-tech on the other side of him. So I think intriguing player. He'll want an extension, so if you trade for him, you need to be prepared to hand one out. But we saw this last year with Orlando Brown. They traded for him with 1 year left in his deal, and obviously they're still working through a potential extension right now. Should the Chiefs trade for Daron Payne? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Let us know down in the comments section. I'm actually going to make this the pinned comment on today's video, so go ahead and reply right there. Next up, a familiar name, Robert Quinn, the Bears edge rusher, who we have, of course, talked about at length here on the Chiefs Report, as the Bears have not been shy of letting go of veteran players. Robert Quinn, 18.5 sacks last year. He was a sensation for Chicago, a team that obviously was very disappointing and underwhelming. But Ryan Poles, the Bears GM, already traded Khalil Mack, for the right offer. I think he'd be open to trading Robert Quinn, get a draft pick or two, get a little bit younger. That's what they're trying to do in Chicago. And let's face it, we showed you guys the defensive line depth chart just a few moments ago. Robert Quinn would be a big upgrade at defensive end. There is not an edge on this roster that is better than Quinn. Frank Clark, nope. George Karlaftis, he's a rookie. I mean, Michael Dana is better than Quinn? Absolutely not. He would be a huge upgrade at a key position of need. I think if you can get Robert Quinn, it would be an absolute home run. Chiefs fans, come on. We need more subscribers here on the Chiefs Report. I know we're kind of in the dead part of the offseason, but there's still news going on, rumors floating out there, OTAs, free agency, trade buzz. We'll have it all covered here on a daily basis, so subscribe, support the channel, and you won't regret it come football season because we'll have full training camp coverage, preseason, and then, of course, regular season action as well. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Subscribe today, and we'll have more videos for you guys here on the channel. All right, let's go to linebacker next. Deion Jones with the Atlanta Falcons, who's been a prominent trade candidate this offseason. Now, he recently had shoulder surgery to just kind of have a little cleanup action there. Should be ready to go by the time the season is here. But he's been one of the better off-ball linebackers in recent years. Last year had a solid year, 137 tackles, couple of sacks. I'd say, he's not up there with the Darius Leonards of the world, but he's in that kind of second tier. He's a very, very good linebacker. The problem is, for me, I think he's a little too expensive, and you already have Nick Bolton and Willie Gay. You drafted Leo Shenault as well. Obviously, I think he's better than Leo Shenault at this point. We haven't seen Shenault play in the NFL. He's probably, he might even be better than Bolton and Gay, but those are going to be your top two guys. Do you want to pay big money for a linebacker when you already have two high-level linebackers? I don't know. I think that's a fair question. Would he be an upgrade? Yes. Is it worth the money? Probably not at that position, if we're being completely honest. Now, what do you think? Do you think the Chiefs need another linebacker? The answer to this could be yes, because after Willie Gay and Nick Bolton, there are question marks in terms of depth. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Do the Chiefs need another linebacker? Let us know what you guys think down in the comments section. Now, we told you today's show is presented by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety and security provider, because, look, let's face it, in the 21st century, the year of 2022, chances are you're going to get a hacker's going to attempt to hack you. That's how things work. Over 30 billion instances of hacking in 2021 alone. Protect yourselves online with Aura. Financial fraud protection, they provide that. Identity theft protection, online and digital security. And I know some of the stuff you're like, what does that even mean? Financial fraud, well, you're shopping online, your online banking. Identity theft, pretty straightforward there. Online device security, that means your social media, your email passwords, Facebook, Twitter, all of that stuff. Amazon, everything you do is online. At least it is for me, and I know that's the case for a lot of you as well. They also offer family plans, up to 5 people per family plan there. That's a great deal as well. And we've got a 14-day free trial. Take it from me. I had my Twitter account hacked in college. Never got it back. It was a hassle working with Twitter. Had to just start a new one. Wasn't a huge deal at the time because I only had 150 followers. Now I've got 4,000. That would be a pain in the you-know-what if I lost my account, if it got hacked. Aura.com/chatsports. Protect yourself online, your identity, your finances, because if you get hacked, it's a pain, and it's going to end up costing you more money at the end of the day. Okay, let's go to our next trade target here, Myles Gaskin. Now, I think there's a fair debate among Chiefs fans about whether or not the Chiefs could use another running back. Here's what I do know. Myles Gaskin is the odd man out in Miami. They have invested in other running backs, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Sony Michel. I mean, those 3 guys they've added this offseason. So at best, Gaskin's RB4. They've got Salvon Ahmed as well. They can't keep all these guys. Gaskin could be had for a late day 3 pick. Now, this past year, his efficiency in terms of yards per carry went down, but for an undrafted guy, he's been pretty darn productive through the past couple of seasons. 12 total touchdowns, and you quick math there, 900 total yards in 2020. Last year, 850, almost 2,000 total yards in the last 2 seasons. You could use another rotation back, which is what I think Myles Gaskin is. You've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You've got Ronald Jones. I like Derek Gore. Small sample size, though. Gaskin's more proven. I don't know. I think he could be RB3 for you, maybe even RB2 in certain instances. He's got experience. He's played at a good level. And by the way, he did that behind a garbage offensive line in Miami. Just a thought, 6th round pick, 7th for Gaskin. I don't think it's that bad of an idea. All right, one more guy here. We've talked about him before, Laviska Shenault. I know the wide receiver room is crowded. I know it's busy, but I still think Shenault gets traded. Where does he fit into Jacksonville? They added Christian Kirk. They added Zay Jones. They've got Marvin Jones Jr. They've got a bunch of receivers in Jacksonville right now, and I don't think they've used Shenault to his full potential. He's done some decent things through 2 seasons, over 600 yards per year, had 5 touchdowns, none of which came last year, by the way. He's the guy that should be finding the end zone 5 times per season, in my opinion. The versatility, I think, hasn't been able to be fully on display. I think you can use him out of the backfield as well. Yes, you've got a lot of receivers on your depth chart. I understand that. But you add him to the mix, he's for sure making this roster, and I think you could use him in a multitude of ways. Return man, running back, jet sweeps, all that kind of stuff. If you want to work in some occasional wildcat, he did that at Colorado also. We haven't seen hardly any of that versatility since he's been in the NFL. I think he's being misused. I think he still gets traded, and I think if you can get him for a 4th or a 5th, that's a guy that can help you. And I think the Chiefs are creative enough, especially with some of their red zone and goal line packages, where they could get him key touches in key areas on the field. All right, so there you go. 5 Chiefs post-June 1st trade targets. Now, who do you think the Chiefs should go out and trade for? I asked you guys this question earlier, asking you guys again. Name a player the Chiefs should trade for before training camp. All right, that's going to do it for today's Chiefs Report. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you want more videos, well, all you got to do is subscribe. It's free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We'll have more videos throughout the week. Until then, so long, and we will see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.